Hi, I'm Chef Aarti Thapa. Welcome to Sanjeev Kapoor Khazana. Today I'm presenting a small sugar showpiece in front of you, for which I'll be using two techniques, casting as well as pulled sugar technique. For doing these two techniques, there are certain tools which you need to have to start with the sugar work. First of all, we need to have a pair of gloves. I use latex examination gloves for this. Then you need to have silicone mats. Why I say silicone mats? Because when we pour hot sugar, it sticks to other surfaces. So silicone is the best surface for pouring sugar. So I use decorative silicone mats for creating different textures, and I'll be using a plain silicone mat for casting some pieces. We can cast in metal as well. So this is a simple ring in which I'll be creating a base for my showpiece. I use silicone noodles for casting artistic shapes. These are thick silicone strips which are used for creating wonderful shapes on the mat, and hot sugar is poured in these. We will observe during the demonstration. Then you need a silicone spatula for stirring sugar. And of course a thermometer is needed to check the temperature of molten sugar. A pair of scissors and a metal rod which will act as a stopper. When I pour sugar in silicone strips, this will act as a stopper to stop hot sugar flowing out from the created mold. In addition to this, we need induction plate and a heavy bottom pan which is compatible with induction plate. To create a sugar showpiece, we have to start with cooking of isomalt. Now what is isomalt? Isomalt is a sugar substitute which is obtained from beetroots. It looks like this. Why I prefer using isomalt over sugar is that it does not absorb moisture and it does not caramelize. And thirdly, we can add different colors to it and create wonderful showpieces. So for cooking one recipe of isomalt, you need to have half kg isomalt and 50 ml of water. So when I start cooking it, I put 50 ml of water in the pan and put isomalt in small batches till it becomes absolutely clear. So when I put first batch of isomalt, I ensure that it melts properly. Then only I put the second lot of isomalt. This isomalt is easily available in stores these days, where you get all the bakery ingredients and tools. So you can get it from the market and start making sugar showpieces. You can create lovely flowers, you can create shiny ribbons, and you can create a wow effect in front of customers and your guests by creating lovely showpieces and putting them on your dining table. Once the entire lot of isomalt is melted, we have to ensure that it reaches to the temperature of 160 degrees centigrade. For this, I will be using this thermometer to check the temperature. Now whenever we are cooking sugar or isomalt, we have to ensure that the temperature is accurate, because otherwise the textures of the final product will vary. Now if you observe carefully, it has started melting, but we have to ensure that every grain of isomalt is dissolved properly and it is crystal clear. While you are cooking isomalt, you have to ensure that the sides of the pan are clean. So use a brush, preferably a silicone brush, to clean the sides of the pan. For that, you have to dip it in cold water and wipe off the sides properly. It has started bubbling now, and we have to wait for the temperature to go up to 160 degrees centigrade. Yeah, so it's 160 degrees. We have to immerse the base of the pan in cold water so as to stop cooking. Okay, before we pour isomalt into the ring, we have to ensure that the inner side of the ring is properly oiled. So you can use any vegetable oil for brushing inside the metal rings. So we are ready for casting. So once the isomalt is ready, we have to pour it into the mold. These silicone noodles can be used to cast any artistic shape with sugar. So if I want a shape, I have to just place these noodles on a silicone mat to create that shape, and I cast sugar in this created mold. Just to stop sugar flowing out from these noodles, I'll just put a stopper here. So I'm using a thin metal rod to stop sugar flowing out from these metal rods. Please ensure that you apply little oil on the metal piece so that it does not stick to this piece. So I am ready to cast in this created mold using silicone noodle, and I have chosen a bluish green color for my structure. For creating this color, I have used a drop of blue with half a drop of green gel color so as to get a nice shade which is a mixture of blue and green. And this will give a glassy look to your sculpture. So once it is perfectly melted, I will be casting in silicone noodles. For making next color for the ribbon, I am using green gel color. So I have put a drop of green gel color and I will be mixing it nicely. So I am pouring it on a silicone mat, and before it cools down, I will be pulling it to create a shiny satiny appeal. So this is a nice bright green color I have chosen for the ribbon, and we are doing a nice yellow and green ribbon today. So let us understand how we pull it now. Before we start pulling the sugar, we have to check the sides. Once they are getting cold, the sides in so that they don't get tough, and once the mixture stops flowing, we will start the pulling technique. If you can observe, it is still flowing. Once it stops flowing, we have to start the pulling technique. Pulling this sugar, you will observe how this simple looking lump of sugar will turn bright green and satiny. So we are ready to pull. So when I am pulling, I am slightly twisting and turning. So when I pull, I twist and turn, twist and turn, twist and turn. So I have to do it 20-21 times so as to achieve perfect shine. Before it gets cooled down completely, we have to keep pulling it to achieve the satiny finish. So, twist, turn, pull, twist, turn. If you observe, it is turning shiny and satiny. So if you can see, it has achieved a perfect gloss and it is ready to be cut. So I will be cutting it into small pieces and I will be leaving it for cooling down. Once this sugar cools down completely, I can preserve it in an airtight jar and it can be used for weeks together. So every time you don't have to pull it, you can use these preserved pieces and create flowers and ribbons. So when I have to pull a flower or a ribbon out of it, I will warm it up under a lamp and create a satiny ribbon with this. So the molten isomalt was poured on this mat and now we are ready to pull sugar to create a shiny effect. So we have to pull it before it sets. This yellow I will be using to create a ribbon with a combination of green color. So it's almost done. Now I am ready to cut the pieces. When I cut, I make it flat so that the pieces cool down faster. So using a pair of scissors, I have cut the pieces into small chunks and I will wait till they get cold and dry. So once the piece is ready, I will be melting it again under a sugar lamp and I can create flowers and ribbon out of it. I am adding red gel color to this molten isomalt for my pulled sugar rose. So let's see how the color looks like. I think we can put some more red color into it. We must always use darker colors when we are pulling sugar because when we pull it, the color becomes lighter because of incorporation of air. So I think this looks perfect. So now I can pour it over a silicone mat and start the pulling technique. So this red color I'll be using to create a pulled sugar rose for all of you today. So you can imagine a beautiful red rose with a yellow and green ribbon. It will look really beautiful on a showpiece. When you're decorating desserts or you're decorating your wedding cakes, you can use these pulled sugar roses and ribbons. So when I am ready to cut these pieces, I have to ensure that I've made it flatter so that the pieces dry out faster. Once these pieces are absolutely cold and dry, we can store them in an airtight container with little silica gel so that they remain fresh and dry for your use in future. So I'll put all these pieces in an airtight container, and I'm putting this silica gel along with these pieces. This silica gel will absorb all the moisture and will keep these pieces dry. I will be keeping them in this box. So I have to keep these pieces airtight but at room temperature. We don't have to store sugar in refrigerator. For making a ribbon, first of all, we have to make sure that the sugar pieces which we have already pulled are at right temperature and consistency. So what I am doing is, I am putting them under the lamp to make them soft. Again, you can even make them warm in a microwave by heating them for 20 to 25 seconds. So for making a ribbon, I am using two colors. Both the pieces should be at right temperature and consistency. You have to join them together like this and turn it. So I intend to create stripes of yellow and green, so that's why I am folding it 2-3 times so that I get the desired pattern. So once I achieve the pattern, I am ready to pull it. So ribbon looks beautiful when it is twisted and curled. So I am going to give it that shape. So what I'll do, I will cut this ribbon into pieces and I will turn it around this rolling pin to give it a nice curly shape. So I use a blowtorch for heating this scraper. It should be hot enough so that it cuts the ribbon evenly. If you don't have this blowtorch at home, you can heat the spatula or scraper over the burner. This is done. Now I am ready to twist it. I can't twist it because it has become tough. So what I am going to do is, I am going to put it in the lamp and make it little soft, and I will twist it around this rolling pin. You can even use a salamander for making the sugar pieces warm. So once it becomes nice and pliable, I will be just twisting it around this rolling pin. And once it becomes cold, I will pull out the rolling pin and we will have a nice curly ribbon in front of us. So to make sure that it retains its shape around the rolling pin so that we can easily take out the rolling pin and it will remain as curly as we wanted. I think it is cold enough now. We can take out the rolling pin and you'll see a beautiful ribbon in my hands. I hope you like it. You can even create small loops out of it so as to prepare a bow or a nice flower by using these small loops. So for that you have to cut the ribbon into small pieces and turn around the rolling pin to create a nice loop. Again you have to wait for it to become cold so that it retains its shape, and once it becomes cold and dry, I am going to remove the rolling pin and we will have a nice loop which can be used to create a bow effect, or it can be used to create another flower which we can make by using 7 to 8 bows together. So you can create another flower by joining these loops together. So 6 to 8 loops together will make a lovely flower. So this way you can create beautiful ribbons by using different colors. You can use your imagination and create a color combination which goes best with the theme of your sugar showpiece. You can even create another type of piece for your showpiece by twisting these pieces together. This way you can make handles of your baskets, and you can even create joysticks by using red and white combination for your Christmas theme, or you can twist them in any shape and use them as fillers on your showpiece. So once you achieve the desired thickness, you can cut off the extra pieces. So this piece can go like this on your showpiece somewhere as a filler. Now we'll be creating a pulled sugar rose. So the pieces which we had kept in an airtight container are now ready for making a rose. We have to keep them under lamp to make them soft. We can even warm them up in microwave and make them soft and pliable like this. So once the piece is ready, it is at desired consistency, we can start with the pulling process. So once the piece is soft and pliable, I'll be pulling petals out of it to create a bud and then a flower out of it. So I'm making a small petal and I'll be turning it. So once the piece is soft and pliable, I'll be pulling petals to create a bud and then complete rose. So I'm taking a small petal for the center of the rose and I'll be twisting it like this to create the innermost part of the rose. Then similarly, I'll be pulling another petal to cover this center piece. So this petal will be folded around the center to create a nice bud. Similarly, one after the other, we have to assemble petals around this bud. When you are going from center to outside, you have to ensure that every time you are increasing the size of the petal. So this is bigger than the previous one and I'll be folding it around the second petal. Now if you see, the center is ready and the petals which I'll be putting around this center piece will be slightly curved to give it an effect of an open rose. If you watch carefully, this piece will be slightly curved on the edges so as to create an open rose effect. So I'll be making 6 petals like this to fold around the center and complete my rose. You should always make 1 or 2 petals extra because while you are joining them together, they may break. So once the petals are ready, we'll be putting them around this bud. So for joining these pieces together, I have to use a blowtorch. So I'm melting at the base of the petal so that it fixes properly around the bud. So similarly, petal by petal, we have to complete this rose. After joining the petals together, the rose will look like this. It's a small rose. If you want a bigger one, you can put 6 more petals around this rose. Now I'll be placing it on a piece of silver foil. Once you feel the pieces are cold and dry, you can take off the silicone noodles and this stopper. So carefully I'm going to pull it away and peel the noodles off. If you observe carefully the edges, if at all they are not neat enough, you can slightly use a blowtorch to make them neat and even so that they look really beautiful and perfect on a showpiece. Similarly, I'll take out the ring from this piece and peel it off from the mat. And you see a beautiful pattern emerging on this piece, and this piece actually looks like a glass piece. That's the beauty of sugar, dear friends. So dear friends, we are ready to assemble the showpiece. We have all the components ready in front of us. Here is the base, so that's the main body, and the rose and the ribbon. Now for joining all the pieces together, I'll be using this melted isomold which we cooked in the beginning. I have just microwaved it for 1 minute and it has become like this, and I'll be using it as a glue to join all the pieces together. So a little drop of isomold I'll be putting on the plate or the platter so that the sculpture sticks to the platter and it does not move. So here I go, I am putting the base first and ensure that it sticks and it does not move. I am ready for the second piece. So first of all, you have to check the positioning of the piece. It should look perfect as you have imagined, and once you find the perfect place of it, you have to stick it together to the base. So with a drop of molten isomalt, I am sticking these two pieces together. You have to ensure that it sticks properly because this is the body of the showpiece. Now comes the most beautiful piece of the showpiece, that is pulled sugar rose. So here it goes on the showpiece. So I'm going to fix it here using little molten isomalt. So I'll just choose the best place for it and then I'm going to stick it together using isomalt. We'll wait for it to get set properly, then the final piece, that is ribbon. Now comes the final piece. I wish to join two ribbons behind this rose. So let me see where it looks the best and I'm going to join it there. You can even use some silver balls to add beauty to your showpieces, like I have used 4 pieces in front of this rose. So it's ready for final presentations. You all can have a look. So I've created this showpiece today using 2 techniques, casting of sugar and pulled sugar technique. So using these 2 techniques, you can create lovely showpieces which are beautiful and attractive. You can change the shapes, you can change the colors, you can create different types of flowers and different styles of ribbons. You can create bows and you can even create bunches, cakes and decorate your wedding cakes as well. So I hope you are ready and excited to try this sugar work and create wonderful pieces of art at home.